afternoon. So today I'm going to do a little bit of practice, a little bit of afternoon practice. Better take those glasses off. So because it's the afternoon and the sun's starting to set, I'm going to start by doing a little bit of work standing up, assuming that you've been moving around today. So I'm just going to bring the hands out to the front first and make some nice big circles here. So really starting to bring your awareness into your body. So it's now coming into whether we're going to stay in lockdown for another week or more. Some of us might be starting to feel frustrated, worried about the future. So it's really important to keep the body moving and to be mindful where our mind takes us. So sometimes when we're having difficulty with that, it can be helpful to get up and move and breathe and take another focus. Let's take our hips back the other way. So I'm really missing my community class that I teach once a week. I've been doing that in Macra now for about 17 years. For a short time, or a year, I was able to teach at the Arahata Women's Prison, which was wonderful. And I've relieved classes around the town for a while. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Suzanne. I'm a registered nurse, and I have a real interest in neuroscience. So yoga's always caught my attention in the way that we're actually able to harness the breath to take over some control, I guess, of our autonomic nervous system. So switching from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system. And although very scientific, it's something that yogis have actually been aware of for years. So let's now bring the feet in just a little bit more here. We're just going to take the hands onto the hips here and just make some nice stretches here. So feeling that movement through the legs. I just need to widen my legs a little bit further here. So really stretching out the legs here. Feeling that nice stretch into the thighs. Now, if you're at home, you can always use a wall or a table to support yourself here. So you don't have to be standing trying to do this without any support if that doesn't work for you. Always be mindful to work with your own edges and what actually works for you. Let's walk those feet in now, and we're just going to make some nice movements here. So you'll notice as I do that little twist that I lift my back heel. I'm slightly bent in my legs, so keeping everything nice and soft here. And breathing, so breathing into those back ribs and side ribs, and really getting a sense of feeling grounded by being aware of where my physical body is in terms of its physical space today. Let's now bring the feet so that they're facing slightly out. We're just going to bend in the knees here. So I'm going to take a nice big breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to bend down. So inhaling up here, exhaling. Inhaling up here, exhaling down. Nice big breath again. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One more time here, inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's now bring the hands now down onto the knees here and bend the knees here. So we're going to come down a little bit lower here, and this time now as we come down, we're going to bring the shoulder forward. So taking a nice bend forward here, one leg goes straight, the other one bends. So just rotating those shoulders in, really feeling that lovely stretch through the body there. Okay, that's lovely. Let's now bring the hands down onto the mat. So the knees are nicely bent here. And then we're going to take what we call a wide-legged dog. So you're going to bring your feet mat width apart and your hands are directly under your shoulders, and then just going to drop your head down here, so really feeling that nice stretch, and then press out through your buttocks, so getting a sense of really being opened and stretched here. Remember to breathe nicely. If you want to come down a little bit lower, you can. Bring your hands behind your neck. But just do what works for you. Remember, if you've got back problems, you can just keep your knees slightly bent. And breathe. So most importantly is the breath. Okay, let's now bring the hands back into the front here and walk them back here. And let's just walk the feet in just a little bit here. And then we're going to come directly down into a squat. So bringing the feet down. You might need to wiggle yourself about a little bit here. I think I've got grass in my hair. Pine needles. So just wiggling around here. And then finding a place that allows you to feel settled, to feel grounded. So bring your hands into your chest and then lift your torso nice and tall. And really use your elbows on the insides of your knees there to drop the pelvis down towards the floor. So a great stretch this is for the pelvic floor and for the backs of the legs. So really feeling that nice sense of being grounded here. So squatting is a really grounding thing to do. You notice children often play squatted or squatting. But it's something that we don't often do as adults. We're always sitting on chairs or couches. So nice big breaths here. And then let's come into a little balance here. So in the afternoon, let's see how the balance goes. Sometimes when we're tired, it doesn't work so well. So bringing the hands into the chest here and finding what we call our drishti spot, that place that allows us to stay still. So finding that stillness there and then releasing. Let's come down now onto hands and knees here. It's a little bit bumpy under my mat here. So I'm just going to take my right leg, lift it up, tuck the toes under and stretch out through that back foot. So just really finding that little stretch there. Make sure you're really lifting up your undercarriage here. And then I want you to lift that foot up and stretch it out. So really feeling that nice extension through the right side of the body there. And then what we're going to do here is we're just going to take the right hand and grab hold of that foot. So really feeling that nice arc there, fully opening up the body there. So beautiful, beautiful stretch there, and then releasing. Let's now do the same thing with the other side. So taking the left leg out now, let's tuck the toes under and stretch out through that back leg. And then now let's lift that foot up, find your balance there on the right side of the body. Grab hold of that left leg now and really feel that nice stretch through the left side of the body. And then release. Let's now take that right foot, lifting it up, pointing the toes. Now take it over to the left, looking over your left shoulder. And then bringing that back now. Let's take the left foot, lifting it up. Make sure you're lifting your neck right up out of your shoulders. Then take it over to the right, looking over your right shoulder. That's beautiful. And then releasing here. Let's now come over and lie down on our backs here. So first of all, we're going to bring the knees into the chest here, making some nice circles. Then I want you to extend now your left leg long and bring your nose up to your right knee, and then drop your head down. And then lift your nose up towards your knee again, and then dropping it down. So just in your own time here, and then releasing. Let's draw now the left knee in, and then extend the right leg out. So nose to knee. This leg just stays slightly up above the ground, dropping the head back, lifting yourself back up again, dropping down, lifting up again. Beautiful. And then release. I just have to move where I am because I'm lying on a lump. Okay, and then releasing here. So what I'm going to do now is bring the hands up. You're going to keep your knees bent, and then we're just going to lift. Elbow to knee, foot comes to floor. Elbow to knee, foot comes to floor. So in your own time, with your own breathing, just a little bit of core work here. So waking up those tummy muscles, particularly if you've been sitting on a computer all day. And then draw your knees into your chest, making some nice big circles here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come into a table pose or a modified pose, bridge pose. So let's bring the feet so that you can touch the backs of your feet with your fingertips. And then just to begin with, just very slowly, just lift your tailbone up. You might want to do this 1 or 2 times. The other thing that works quite well is to raise your hands above your head and slowly peel your tailbone up. So like you're warming it up, particularly if you've been sitting all day. So inhaling up and exhaling down. And then when you're ready, you bring your hands in underneath you and let's roll those shoulders in. And then really begin to lift that tailbone right up off the floor. So really feeling that the legs are parallel and that you're really lifting up this middle part of your body here. So the thighs are coming forward towards the knees are parallel. Really nice opening for the shoulders and for your throat and for the middle of the body. Now to come down, come up onto your toes, release your hands and then very, very slowly curl your body back down and let your tailbone curl down and then drop your heels. So that's a really kind way to treat the lower spine. And then we're just going to rock the legs from side to side here. So you might want to bring your hands out to the side. Gently rock your legs from one side over to the other. That's nice. You're going to come into happy baby pose. So bringing your feet, grab hold of your feet, draw your elbows down in towards your armpits. And let's just rock here. Think about happy babies. Think about what you have to be happy about. One small thing. And then very, very gently release. So bring the legs down. And then let's just release the legs lengthwise here. We're going to take a nice banana asana. So we're going to take our arms above our head here. And we're going to lift the upper torso over to the right. And as you do that, you're going to grab your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to move your legs now over to the right and cross your left ankle over your right ankle. And you'll feel that really good stretch now down the left side of the body. And we're just going to lie here and breathe into that stretch. And then just gently releasing, so releasing the right hand and releasing your foot off the right angle. Let's just lift ourselves back to the center of the mat here. And then now let's lift the body over to the left side of your mat. And stretch your arms up here, and this time your right hand grabs your left wrist, and then move your feet over to the left, and your right ankle goes over your left ankle. And again, just breathing here, so feeling that good stretch now down the right side of the body, and breathing here, so visualize the oxygen flowing into all of those muscles. And then we're just going to release here, so coming back through center. We're just going to finish by rocking and rolling on the spine before we come into Shavasana. So crossing the ankles over here now. Let's come up. Let's see if you can keep your feet up off the mat. So rocking back here, coming up and rocking back and coming up. My ground's a bit rocky or bumpy, so it makes it a bit hard, but it's all good fun. And then roll down one side of your spine and then the other. That feels good. And then let's come up. So we're going to finish seated actually, because it's quite a nice evening. So let's just take a moment here. Although if seating's not right for you, then you can lie down. But I'm getting a bit covered in grass and paddock debris here, which is good for me. So let's bring our hands now into the belly. And just take a moment now to just allow the asanas to be integrated into your mind and your body. Taking a moment to use Yoga Nidra to scan your body following your practice. So visualize your feet and your ankles, your calf muscles, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your belly, your legs, your spine, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your tongue, your teeth, your eyeballs, your eye sockets. We're going to bring our hands into our hearts here, into Anjali Mudra. So today I'm actually going to finish with one Om. I encourage you to join me if you wish. So inhaling. Let's rub our hands together now. And then bring the warmth from your heart into your eyeballs. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's rub the warmth from our hearts into our hearts, acknowledging us for being present on the mat today. And then one more time into the belly. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we acknowledge each other for meeting. So from joining each other from our bubble to your bubble. And stay safe and stay well. Namaste. Thank you.